I always want to talk more about The Expanse, but now I want to go around the room and have us talk a bit about our best example of maple cringe.
Maple
I'll start us off here. Do any of you remember a little show called The Odyssey?
No.
Yes.
It was a youth programming television about a kid who went out in the forest, hit their head, and then had lots of adventures in a coma.
Excuse me?
No. Lots of adventures in a coma.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, revealed at the end that he was in a coma the whole time, but it was just,
At some point he had to go back into the coma.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he had to go back into a coma later.
Solar Birds in chat talking about Vancouver spotting being fun. It is very fun. I'm on the next level of Vancouver spotting now because my partners and I are starting to spot my apartment building.
Oh no!
In a lot of stuff because they film a bunch of things in my building.
Andrew, you need to put Flat Andrew in a window that faces where things might be filming.
Yeah. I did get yelled at that. Well, not yelled, but the Strata had an issue with that in one building that I lived in.
I Maple noped out of one scene in Battlestar where it was like supposed to be the landing of the president's ship in like the cargo bay. I'm guessing, and it was so obviously the Queen of Alberni, a ferry that goes between Nanaimo and Vancouver.
And there's no effects
There's
or
nothing.
anything. They just come down the stairs and go onto the car deck of the ferry, which has no cars on it, and a big fake sci-fi looking thing. Like,
Nope. Maple noped right out of that scene.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm doing a Battlestar rewatch, and it's funny as heck when that comes up. That's very early on. That's like miniseries or season 1.
I think you're right. It's very near the beginning. Also classic.
There it is. Yeah.
Like it's got the road lines and everything. It's so funny.
So famously here in Victoria, there's the scene in Bird on a Wire.
Oh yeah,
where
I was there for some filming of that.
He's on a motorbike and he drives down Fantan Alley, which is not long enough, so he drives down it a second time at a different angle, and then comes out of Fantan Alley into Market Square.
Yeah,
which is across the street and down the block. So there's that. I don't know if that's really. That's not like literally unplayable now. So I can't think of a good example to something I have noped out of. But
I remember Lily complaining about the same thing in Tron Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where they were just like filming the bike chase in Vancouver, and it's just like that road doesn't turn onto that road.
Right.
I like the part in that movie where the protagonist jumped off a building, parachuted down to the ground, and then started running towards the movie theater that I was sitting in. Like you could see the theater in the background of the shot.
I talked about this once on a stream a while back, but there was a bit where I saw a video from someone who lives in London talking about Thor: The Dark World, where Thor bifrosts into one of the tube stations and is like, how do I get to Greenwich from here? And the person's like, you go there, it's like 20 minutes. And then the person making the video proceeds to explain how it would take like at least 45 minutes and you'd have to take one tube line here and then change to the light rail this way. Like the directions to get from that station to Greenwich are impractical. And everyone watching from London was like,
that was such a good line, though.
Yeah, I think this is actually. I think we're getting a little sidetracked here because for me, Maple Cringe is not about like anything to do with geographic accuracy or any kind of accuracy. It's like there's a feel to it. Like it's a quality thing. It's like Lex or like British shows that have British special
Lex
effects.
I couldn't watch for that reason.
I was thinking about like Olympics openings where they just have like Mounties.
Yeah, or like
look, Mounties.
Stuff that's very clearly filmed in like I don't know, like 50 FPS or something. Like it's very like unnerving.
It's that dad from the Canadian Tire commercials that likes to pressure wash things.
Yeah.
Things that look like Canadian National Film Board videos, but don't feel like them.
Dex EVM. I wish we could get more every frame of painting. Well, good news. Yes. There's a Netflix show called Voir coming soon that both Tony and Taylor worked on.
With David Fincher.
With David Fincher.
Yep.
Trailer dropped like last week and it's coming out in I think December.
VOIR.
VOIR.
And then,
Netflix.
and the reason we're talking about that is because they did an amazing video called Vancouver Never Plays Itself. Which is really good on their Every Frame of Painting channel on YouTube.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's very good.